everybody. Welcome to Elisa's Art Room. Tonight we're going to be working on our Alice in Wonderland journal. So y'all come in and say hi. We're going to do a little pop-up tonight. It should be fun. I'm going to get you guys pulled up. We are live on Facebook. If you do not see the red button in the right and the left top corner, we are replay. So let me see if I can find y'all. Hey, Dawn. Not yet. If I can get it to show on my feed here. There it is. All right. That up, hopefully it will work. Seems laggy. Try it again. All right. So picky. So we're going to do this little Stamperia pop-up kit. I bought this from scrapbook.com. And I wanted to give it a try, make a little pop-up to go in my journal that we started. And right now on my ocean journal, I'm waiting on a coastal set of stencils and transfers that I wanted to use in that. So I'm going to kind of take a little break and just switch over to this one for a few. And we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to give this a shot. There are no instructions for this, guys. I had to figure out how to do it. I had to look up instructions and all this stuff. It's amazing. It says there's instructions, like there's like a little, like one of these little things, these little barcode thingies, whatever they are. It says there's instructions. There's not. They're not there. I even like sent them a message. I'm like, hey guys, there's no instructions. How do I figure out how to do this? And they sent me a link to some video that had absolutely nothing to do with it. I was like, what? So I figured it out. So I'm going to show y'all how to do it in case y'all end up in the same situation and you have no clue how to put this one together. It's supposed to be easy. It's a little easy. I froze there for a second. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera up top so we can get started on this. I have a feeling it's going to take me a little bit. So we're going to give it a shot. Hey, Nancy. Let's see if I'm straight. Does not look straight. I can't see that line. Looks good. It's a little bit tight fit, but I think I'll be all right. All right, so I bought this kit. It was something like $7.77 or something. It was like almost $8. But like I said, there's just no instructions. They kind of leave you. It says there are instructions, but there's not, guys. So it gives you this little barcode, like I said, and it says that you can go to that site. And it's like a e-Academy course. There's 3 courses on there that have absolutely nothing to do with this. So there are no courses. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they used to be and they just aren't anymore. Has this little piece of acetate in here. Does not tell you what this piece of acetate is for. I finally found what it was for on another video. And it's for adding elements that you want to like kind of float. So you cut off little strips of it and you glue them to this is the idea. So we may or may not use it, but it's in there. If you're like me, you're going to be like, what is that? I don't know what that's for. It doesn't say anything about it. In there, what it includes, it's not in there. There's literally nothing about it. So it gives you the pictures, and then it gives you this piece, which is your basic outside cover and your inside cover. It's your card. And then this piece, which it doesn't tell you what it is, but this is actually the right hand side of the pop-up that makes it function, so it's very important. I watched some poor lady struggle for like 20 minutes on a video trying to figure out what it was. She finally gave up, but she never ended up getting it right and just quit. I was like, I felt so bad for her. And then it's got numbers and then pieces. And you have to kind of look at the pictures and figure out where everything goes. So it's got this set and more little pieces, and these are the frames and stuff. And then the only instructions is this. And it says, step 1, open the card, remove the elements following the number, and glue them on the card. Okay. Step 2, look at the picture and follow the design. Okay. Step 3, remove the sheet with the help of the cutter. Number 29, no clue what they're talking about. I still don't know. And then it says the cover of the ticket. I don't know. There's no ticket. So no clue. It says fold and paste on the front of number 31, glue to the back, top, decorate with elements. That's it. That's your instructions. So it pretty much leaves people hanging, which is kind of disappointing, but it's a cool set. But it's really kind of like, wow, guys, you could have put the instructions together a little bit better. So there's no video. It says there is, but there's not. Like I said, maybe it's old and there used to be. I don't know. But we're going to do it together so that everybody knows how to do it. So you'll need this picture just to give you an idea of where things go. You do not have to do the little elements in exactly these places. That's kind of left up to you, really. The only thing that's important is that you do the large to small Alice frames in order so that it goes from small to large toward the back of the tunnel. And you'll see what I'm talking about as we get going. So I'm going to set these over here. I did print out one picture from the only thing I found, and it was just a really short video that just basically showed an overview. It didn't show instructions, but it does have a little clearer picture of this inside. So I printed that out, and then I found this one that has a picture of the outside. And something I noticed immediately was it's not the same. It's backwards. So the card that you use, this piece here, for your actual card piece is printed differently, which was interesting. I was like, oh, okay. Because I kept trying to figure it out, and I was like, okay, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I printed this one out because it is right. I think it's the same. No, maybe. Maybe. I think it's the same, and the one on the cover is wrong. I think that's what the deal was. So if you look at this picture that they include with the set, it shows this, which folds right here on this piece right here, which I'll score in a second. But it shows this front not having this here. It shows it having it over here, which is not even possible. Now this one, where somebody, I think this is actually the creator guy, this guy, where he did it, it shows it the way it is. So it is on the right hand side of the cover. It is not on the left hand side. So another thing that's just weird. So lots of weird things, guys. I would suggest going ahead and punching everything out except numbered items if you want to keep them in order, because you will never figure out what the number is once you punch it out, because the number does not exist anywhere except next to it. For instance, if I punch this rabbit out right now, that 33 is gone. It's not on the back of him. It's nowhere. So I won't know he's number 33. So I would not suggest punching that out. So even this is 31 frame, but once you do it, you're not going to know. It's baseball season? Did I miss something? Oh, you're a little late. It's baseball season. I get it. I was like, what? Did I miss some comment? No. Okay. So you can punch out some of it, but it's probably best if you just punch it as you go, because it'll keep you less confused if you happen to get this set, or honestly any of the sets that they have like this, and they have many of them. A lot of different designs, and it's kind of cool because it's all together and everything, but you just got to figure out how to do it. So this is 31. You can figure out where these go by the picture, so I'm just going to go ahead and punch these out because I need those first. And it's got good perforations, so they seem to all come out fairly easily. So that's good. So we need that card. I'm just gonna tear this off so it's not so bulky. I'm gonna set that aside. And then I want the other cards. Okay. This one doesn't, I can't even tell if it even has a number. Maybe 13. That's what I'm thinking. Is it supposed to be 13? Yeah. I think that's what it's saying right there. But you look at these numbers, they're just like, you can't tell what that goes to. I can't tell what number 8 is. I have no idea. The pictures are just so unclear. So we're just going to punch them out and go for it, guys. But I'm going to show you the mechanics of this type of a pop-up. And that will help a lot with just understanding the mechanics of it. It will definitely help in putting this together. So this is a frame. Like I said, they just have different designs, and a couple of them have writing that helps you figure out where they go. Like, for instance, this one doesn't pop out, so you know this is on the front. Okay, it should be on the front anyway. Well, I'm just going to double check, but yes, a long tail is on the front cover. Okay, and the fact that it doesn't have a center that comes out would tell you that. This is going to go somewhere in this area. Now, I assume that each of these pieces inside coordinates with its frame. That would be logical. I don't know for sure, but that would be logical. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm just going to kind of put stuff where I want it and where it looks good as far as the little elements. I'll kind of go loosely off of what I see on their picture. All right, so let's pop this one out. I have a feeling this will take me the full 2 hours. It says 30 minutes. It says it's a 30-minute project. I disagree. I do not think it's a 30-minute project. So these have an edge, so you don't want to mess them up because you have to score these and fold them exactly on their edge or they will not fit right. So do make sure that that happens. Boy, that one's really close. I don't know if I can get that piece off. There it goes, kind of. There it goes. not even a 1/16. Where are you? There you are. So each of these frames are slightly different sized based on where they go in the tunnel. Do y'all like pop-ups? I've been doing a few. I enjoy them. I don't know how anybody else feels about it. If y'all like them or not. Just tearing off these little bits so they're not in my way. Okay, this one. All right, so I've got all my little pieces there. And then we want to figure out, well, we're going to score them first, but we're going to figure out where they go in position. So this 4, we don't need this. The thing I did want to mention is that this is made to be approximately 6 inches wide. It's too wide for this. So I'm going to end up trimming it off to make it fit. There is enough room to trim it off. I checked it first and I'm pretty sure I can trim it off. So, because what I'm going to end up doing is just gluing it, adding it basically to one of my pages in here. And if you look, right here is my edge. So if it starts there, so I'm going to trim off 1 inch of it. I think we'll be fine. Because the card itself, basically what happens is each one of these is a centimeter. Each one of these little edges is a centimeter, which adds up to 4 centimeters. So as long as you have from this point where this card is, you have 4 centimeters over this way, it will work. So you just have to look at it and see, I can lose basically 2 centimeters. Okay, so I will be okay. Right. Set that there. So that's how that's going to work. We'll put it in later. I'm not going to put it in today, but hopefully I'll finish it today. I should be able to. All right. So the first thing that you do is figure out where your pieces go. Like I said, this goes on the cover. Okay, we've got Alice on the cover. We've got one of these bunnies on the cover. Looks like this piece here is pretty much all on the cover. So this one is all cover elements. And it was probably next to this one. Like I said, they seem to kind of coordinate like that. So you don't really have to think about it too much. Boy, that's punched out horribly. It's like missing half of his face. So we're going to put the cover elements over to the side here. So I know where those are. And then the other elements, I just have to figure out where they are in their step. So I'm going to try to do that by looking at that picture that I printed. It's a little hard to see, so. Okay, the first one is obviously Wonderland. So this is the top. The back doesn't show, even though it's got that on it, it doesn't show, so I can write on it if I don't break my pencil head. So this is the top. It doesn't show very much. The second one appears to be one of these. Are they the same? No, they're slightly different. So obviously it would get smaller as it goes backwards, so it should be, let's see, where does this one go? Gosh, it's so hard to tell from that picture. I mean, logically it would go here, right? Because it's bigger. The hole's bigger is what I'm getting at. So I think the bigger hole should be on the top, and that would be the biggest one. That makes sense. I think that is the case. Okay, that's what we're going to go with. It had a number, but I don't know what the number was, so I don't know if I can see the numbers because, like I said, they're very hard to see. And if you don't pay close attention, because it's one of these numbers, maybe 20 was that one, I don't know. You know, maybe 20, 13, 9, maybe. I'm guessing. But then trying to figure out, you know, where the 20, 13, and the 9 are on here. I don't even see a 20. Oh, there's a 20. I said 20 is 1. 13 looks to be 2. 9, maybe 3. It's so hard to tell. Just the way they've got that, it's too hard to tell. So we're just going to go from biggest to littlest. So we're going to go from the biggest opening to the smallest opening, okay? Because that's logical in the design. And then Wonderland is definitely on the top, okay? So this is how they're going to go in. So that means that the furthest one back will be the first one here, all right? So we're going to score this right there on that spot. And I think that's half, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to give it a try, see if it is. So I have a line on my scoreboard that I can use, or I can try and match it to a hole. But a lot of times it's just easier for me to use my line with a Sharpie. And I'm just matching up their little line here. It's real subtle, but it is there. I'm going to try to score that because it'll just make it fold better. You don't have to, but it will help. So we're going to score that there. Okay, and like I said, the front is this. So, let's see. I'm going to see how well it matches. You can always, I have to trim it anyway, so it doesn't really matter in my case. I'm off a little bit. But like I said, because I have to trim it, I'm not going to freak out about it. And, you know, if you're not putting it in something that's at least 6 inches wide, you're going to have to trim it too. All right, so there's our cover. And there's our inside. Okay. And then we've got all our little pieces. Now, each of these needs scored on their lines, which are the sides of the frame. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to use my little mark. It should be a centimeter about, is what I'm guessing. I'll try to get all of the frame in there if I can. I don't know if I can find a spot that actually lines up. Most of these do not line up to the numbers very well. The 2 lines up okay. That's not terrible, but most of them just don't. So I'm just going to try to use my line. I think that's about right. I'm going to see if this is a centimeter. I think it's a centimeter. Because this is a, it's probably basically A4 or something. I don't know. It's because it's international. It's not an English thing. Or American thing or whatever. Yeah, it's a centimeter. So each of your sides should be a centimeter. Try to get them as close to 1 centimeter as you can and exact, because that will help it to fold properly. So try to get it exact. It should be on the line where the frame stops. You can kind of see that line. Okay, and then these fold back like this. And we'll score those, or just to make them a little bit better. You want to make sure they have good folds. Anytime you're doing a pop-up, make sure that you have good creases in your folds. You just want to have that, or things don't fold right. So like I said, I'm just using my line because I find it more accurate for whatever reason. So you got to do all 4 of these. And I'm going to show you the basic workings of this in a second. Don't let me forget. Because I want you to understand the mechanics. Because I think once you understand the mechanics of it, it makes it a lot easier when you're making something like this. And you could even make your own. I mean, you don't have to have a kit. You can make your own and use anything you want once you understand the mechanics of it. Okay. So I'm just going to do this. Get all these folded. Is that the top? Okay, it's got hearts. We'll go with the heart direction to make sure that's the top. Yeah. All right. Guys, every live, I was literally freezing to death. I had goosebumps. I was so cold. And I start this live and now I'm melting. What is it? It's got to be just the concentrating. I'm not nervous. But I am concentrating. All right. So there's all 4 of those. All right. Now this will help you understand just the mechanics of it. All right. Here's one I made. There's just a little test one, basically. So this is what happens on this. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. My lighting. All right. Do you see that? This one only has 3. That one has 4. Okay, so you're basically making this parallel style pop-up. Okay, and it folds like that. So that's basically what's happening, is that you're gluing all of these little things that we just folded the edges of next to each other on the sides here. And then you're gluing the piece of paper that I spoke about, that is this piece, on the side here to attach this side to. Okay? And the act of it being attached on this side and this side causes it to have that action. Okay? And then the tunnel, you just put all the stuff inside. Okay? So that's how the mechanics work. It's not so difficult when you kind of understand that. Now, I'm going to make an ocean one later, I think. And I'm going to use these bits. I'm not going to try to do it tonight because I don't think I'll have time. But I have them all cut out into frames. And they're slightly smaller. Each one slightly... Come back. Oh, there it is. Each one slightly smaller. And then that's my edge. And then this is my card. I'm going to make one with an ocean theme once I get my ocean stuff. And that's what that's for. So you'll be able to see this more than once. But we're going to do this one. So that's how the mechanics are. So you've got all these pieces. So 4 of these. Okay. They're going to stack like this. Basically onto here. Going to be glued there. And then this piece is going to glue it here. Okay, and this will have to be cut to size. So step one is getting everything in place and decorating as you go. So we're going to go back, figure out our layers here, which we know Wonderland's the top layer, so that's not the back. This is the back, right? No, it's this one. This one's the back. It's the smallest one. So the smallest one goes on the back, and then this one I think is next, maybe. I have to look at the size. Yeah. So this one's second, because the frames get, the opening gets bigger. And then that one, and then Wonderland. Okay? So that's how that's going to work. So we're going to start with the first one, and we're going to decorate it. So first we go in to decorate our background, because we don't want to cover that up, then we can't get to it to decorate. So you have to decorate your background scene first. So let's see what is in there. I feel like there's a curtain or something. We know that's the cover. It must be this one, maybe. I think it's that one, because I think these go to each of those. If I paid attention to the numbers, maybe it's 9, 13, and 20, which coincides with those. But then one of those frames is another number, and I don't know what number that is because I can't figure it out. Let's see if I can figure it out. 13 seems to be the first one, maybe. 9. I think it's maybe 1 and 2. I'm thinking it was 1 and 2. So you can see there's a curtain back there for sure. So I think this is the first piece. And it's also going to, the Alice's are going to get smaller, so you know the biggest Alice goes on the back. They get smaller as they come forward. Where are the ones? I don't see. There's a 2, so that ain't it. That's a heart. Yeah, these numbers are really difficult to... It's like, oh, just use the numbers. Sure. Because I can't tell what these numbers are doing. They're just too confusing. So let's just go for it. All right. So we know Alice's, the biggest Alice goes in the back. That's a given. And I think this is what goes in the back. It fits right there. I watched a couple of girls attempt this. One was in a foreign language, so I couldn't understand what she was saying, but she did a decent job. I may link her. Yeah, that's going to go there. And then, let's see if I can see anything else on there. Man, I wish they had clearer pictures. That would be awesome. Where are my printouts? Oh, they're there. Trying to see if my printout's any better. All right, so there's definitely her in the curtain. I think that's the only thing that's on that back scene, is her in the curtain. Okay, so that'll be the glued there. And then we gotta, let's go ahead and cut our Alice's so that we know which ones go next. We'll pop those out. There's one. This must be top one, maybe? Let's see. I'll look at sizes. I just want to look at the sizes so I can figure it out. Is she bigger? I feel like I don't know if the hand changes its angle. I think it does. So this is number 10, Alice. We'll see if we can figure out where number 10 is. Is it there? Nope, it's definitely smaller. Okay, so that goes here. And then this one. Come on, let go. That goes there. All right, that's the order. Okay. So this one goes first. So this one goes on here. We're just going to glue it. I'm going to glue it to where the curtain is just underneath that frame there on the edge. And she's peeking into that door. Okay, I'm going to try to zoom just a little bit. Y'all start yelling at me if you can't see. Is it focused at least? I'm too close to tell. I think it looks focused. Okay, so I'm going to use art glitter. The only thing you got to keep in mind when you are doing it is that nothing is peeking outside of your edges, okay? Just try to keep everything inside until you get to the top layer. The top layer could peek outside and be fine, but the inside layers cannot. Okay, so there's that one. And then we said this was first. This is the smallest. It looks so much smaller than that. I guess that's right. It does look very small. All right, so this one's going to go here. And I'm going to glue these as I go because I don't know, I think it'll be easier. Yes, it's a kit. Somebody asked if it was a kit. It is a kit. So basically these all glue to this edge, okay? So you just want to make sure that they are on the fold and that everything still folds. And we go to decorate this edge with things. You can kind of squeeze things in with the tweezers if you miss something that you want to put in there, but we're going to try to do it as we go. I don't know if it's harder or easier to do it as I go. I probably should have trimmed my sides, but I'll just trim it with an X-Acto. I think I'll be all right. I'm debating. You know what? I'm going to trim it now. If I don't trim it now, it might be a pain. So I'm going to trim off 2 centimeters because that's the most I can take off to fit in my book. So I'm just going to mark 2 centimeters off of here. And I'm just doing this because it needs to fit inside my journal to be feasible. So 2 centimeters from that side. It's about an inch. I don't know what 2 centimeters adds up to as far as inches go. Is it about an inch? It's like about 3/4 of an inch. I'm just doing centimeters because the measurement works better with their measurements. And sometimes that happens. So I'm just going to trim these. I should have just did it at the same time. We're just going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to trim it even because it's not even right now. We'll go with yeah, we'll go with this. I think it'll be all right. If worst came to worst and it didn't fit, I could always add a piece behind it. But I'm going to go for it. It's going to cut off that pretty words, which I hate, but unfortunately, I have to make it fit my book. And I'll just use that in something. I'll use it for something, but it's a pretty, I like this. figure out something to do with it. All right, so this is what I end up with. That's going to be my cover. And hopefully everything on the cover will still fit. It'll be a little tighter than it was, but it'll still fit. It's just not going to have as much room, but we can make it work. So we'll figure all that out. But this will still go here, and then something from that set. I might want to go ahead and do that first, honestly, because as I build this up, I don't have glue on here. I'm just gonna wipe this glue off, guys, because it's gonna get all bulky from sitting there. All right. As I build up the inside, it'll be harder to do my cover. So let's just do the cover first. We know this goes here. Where's my cover picture? That was the only picture I had that was halfway decent. All right, there's the cover picture. So we've got Alice. She appears to be next to the rabbit, which we'll see if Bunny Rabbit will still fit in there. What is this, a Harold Rabbit or something? I don't know the names of anybody. I actually listened to the story the other day on audio on my on YouTube. They have like audiobooks. So I listened to it again because I haven't listened to Alice's story or read it in a very, very long time. So I figured I should do that. So let's kind of lay this out and see how it looks. If we're going to run out of room or not. You just want to make sure there's nothing on your edge. This is the Mad Hatter on here. He's just kind of over here on the side. We'll stick him right there for now, maybe. I don't know if I want him down here now. He looks like he's looking up her dress. We don't want him doing that. That's messed up. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Mad Hatter's kind of creepy looking anyway. All right, teapot. A couple little teapots. Another teapot. This one's down here. And then there's cards behind the rabbit. And you can just kind of see if they'll fit. Yeah, we can make them fit. All right, cards behind the rabbit. That'll be all right. And what else? Long tails there. Oh, there's the label at the top. I don't have anything written on this label. Suppose you could add something. But the label is up here. Maybe we'll make him kind of behind. I might trim him. Yeah, I think I'll trim him a little bit and just have him kind of maybe like that. It looked funny the other way. Oh, and there's a teacup. I think we actually are going to be able to fit it all on here still. Even though it's a little bit tighter, it will still work. And that's everything. Okay. So yeah, all of this was cover stuff. All right. So let's glue all those on. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with him. I think. So I'm just going to kind of have him a little behind and a little in front. So I think right there. That looks interesting. And then what I'll do is I'll straighten out that table for that angle. So let's just see if I can kind of straighten it anyway. It's going to be crooked, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. But I might straighten it just a little bit. And then we'll cut it off right there. Where's my scissors? Okay. So let's glue. Try to move everything. Okay, we're going to glue this, but I'm not going to glue this edge so that I can still kind of squeeze him underneath there. So I'm going to put my finger right there. Try to avoid that one little edge. kind of trying to get it somewhat centered. All right, and I'll do him next. And I'm going to try to get him kind of behind, but I'm letting his bow and his face be in the front. Yeah, that works. Can y'all see? I zoomed back out. Oh, it's so much closer on my iPad. That's weird. It's definitely closer on my iPad. My iPhone is still very small. Y'all catch the replay and just zoom in when you have to. I'm not inking these. You could ink them. I don't know if I should. It's just, it adds so much time to the project for me, so I'm probably not going to bother. So let's put the cards next because they go there, but I want to see where they hit the bunny rabbit. So I think I want them about there. So right about there, so about 1/4 of an inch under her hand and just to the right of her dress, or left of her dress, not right, left. Okay, so just under her hand and just left of the dress. I'm just making sure I'm not hitting that edge there. All right, bunny rabbit. Come here, bunny. I could use my tweezers, but I'm being difficult, I guess. I keep missing. Right. Set him as close to the ground as we can so it makes sense. There. That's good. Where was the teapot? Where's my picture again? Picture. I threw you aside somewhere. There you are. Teapot was, or teacup. Teacup's just above the rabbit's head. Okay. Teacup. I am going to use tweezers for this one. Okay. So somewhere right here. And then this teapot. Here. Okay, good. And this little teapot. So I would imagine a lot of people will be happy that I'm doing one of these because there's just not one. There's my rag. Keep just a little piece of muslin. It works really good for getting off excess glue. All right, what's missing? Label. I'll have to decide if I want to add a label. I do have some Alice labels I made. We'll see if anything fits. I don't think there's anything that they have that goes here. I don't know what you would put there. So this is about here, I think. Because none of the pictures I have show anything there, do they? This one shows like a little plaque. So it's totally different than that, which is what shows here. So I don't know, did they do away with that plaque? I wonder. Did y'all see it anywhere? Let's see. Not there. Not there. Cards. Nope. That is not in here anywhere. So We'll just add something later. That's fine. Okay, so that's the cover. That looks okay. Okay, and we can go back to this. And we shouldn't need that one anymore. So now we need, I'm just going to set this. I'm just setting this where I can see it a little bit better. Okay, so I had that first one with glue on one of the sides here. The hearts up. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue this one down and hope for the best. So when you're gluing it, you just want to make sure that it is where the fold is. Okay, so you can do it this way if it's easier. And just basically leave like a, not quite a 16th, but just a tiniest little gap. It will help it to move properly. Yeah, about there. All right. So put that down. And just make sure everything is still moving correctly, okay? And then we're not going to attach this side yet. That'll be last. But we are going to glue our little pieces to it. Just going to give it a little bit of a crease. Okay, so the pieces for this one, so this is the furthest back, so the Alice is the largest. So this Alice, she goes here, and she was from which page? Guys, not that one. So she was from this page. So logically, the items should be on here. Does that make sense? All right, so she goes here somewhere. So something like, I think her feet just barely hit the frame, and then you just get that little bit of the edge of the dress there. And then it looks like they've got possibly the queen back there, which is on this one. So we're going to try to get the queen in there. So she's going to go up here somewhere. And then it looks like, maybe a card? Is there a stopwatch anywhere? Not on that layer. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's so hard to see, guys. It looks like there might have been some cards in there. Are there any other cards? I don't see any other cards. Maybe we'll just throw a few flowers or something. Let me see if I can tell from these numbers. I know I can't, but I'm going to try to look. So 5. The queen was 6. I don't know what 5 is. 5 is non-existent. I don't see a 5. Oh, it's a card. Okay, so it is a card. We'll put the card in there. Put this Alice card in there, I guess. Somewhere. Maybe behind the queen or something. I'll try to stick that in there. What else is maybe back there? I think 2 was the frame. Possibly. Maybe 1. I'm not sure. 2 must be a heart. I'll put one of these little hearts somewhere back there. Don't know where. And then I don't know what else. Possibly an 8. What's an 8? It's another heart. So maybe because it's got the queen on this page, they're having you do more hearts. Does that make sense? So maybe another heart down here. There may possibly be a 7. What's the 7? It's another card. Can't tell if it's on that layer or not. Well, let's start with those. I can't tell for sure. It's very difficult to tell. So Alice is the most important. The other things are, you know, like I said, you can kind of put them wherever you want. But she does need to be where she's supposed to be. So each time she gets a little closer, I'm just trying to check for position. I think that's about right. So it's not a lot of glue. It's just this teeny bit on her dress there, and then just maybe on her feet, just like the very bottoms of her feet. It's really the only gluing area there is. So you can kind of remove all that. Try not to glue it to your back piece. That's important. So I'm just gonna hold my hand under here, trying to get her feet in that dress, just to touch ever so slightly. We'll see how that lines up. Yeah. Okay, so we'll glue those and her feet. Just don't want, try not, like I said, just try not to get any glue seeping. We don't want to glue nothing we're not supposed to. All right, we're going to put the queen in the card. Let's stick the card. What time is it? 10? Okay. Let's see. Debating if she should be higher or lower. She seems like she's lower on there. I don't want to cover up Alice's face on the back picture, though. Look how much further over it is. So weird. Well, it does move when you open it. Maybe that's why. Okay, that's logical. Okay, that's why. All right. We'll just put this ace, I think, somewhere through here. Just hopefully it'll show. I don't want to get glue where I don't want glue. So I want to have it hang over just ever so slightly. I'm going to look at it when it's open, when it's at its, you know, point there. So I think I want this card just to peek over the edge, just a little like that, something like that. So let's try that. Do that. And then the queen can go here somewhere. And we want her to just kind of, trying to have her hand so it's not in her face. So about 1/4 inch below looks good. What's hanging over? I'm going to put glue just this edge. So about there. I'm being careful not to get on my fold here. Yeah, that's a good spot, I think. I think that will be a good spot. All right, and then we got some hearts. There's some hearts. It says there's one more card, but that's optional. We'll throw one more card in there, maybe. I'll just do, I don't know. I'll just do one of these. Let's open it up, see where it hits. I'm trying not to cover up too much. As a lot of this will be hidden from the top layer, so you got to have it in enough that it shows, ideally. So I'm going to try to have it over enough. But you don't want to cover up anything important either, so a lot of little things to think about. So we're going to stick that there, and we'll put a heart underneath the queen there. Where's my tweezers so I can hold this better? doesn't want to, it doesn't want to go. Must be dirty. Okay, that's good. Her hand's a little bent. There. Okay, that's good. What else? Anything else? One more heart. So this one, maybe we'll put this one, I think I'm just going to stick it over here because it's kind of boring over there. Let's put it over there. We're just going to put tips of it there. And we're just going to stick it. That'll work. Okay, there's that layer. So now we need our next layer. And our next layer is this one. So the next biggest Alice, which came from this set, which mostly has flowers. We'll see if that's what goes there or not. So, and that has this one here. All right, so next layer. Same thing, we're going to glue to the side panel there. If you guys have questions after, feel free to ask me. I know this one's a little confusing. Okay, so you want to glue next to the one you just put on there. I like to leave a fraction of a gap. I mean, not much, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Just enough that I know it's not going to interfere with anything. And then you can just fold it down. Give it a good press. And I got some glue oozing. Just get that glue. And that'll be the next layer up. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're on this layer. So this one, we know has some flowers. Don't know where they go. Kind of looks like it has the king. I'm trying to tell if the king is on that one or is it on the one? It might be on the one with the little one. I guess it is. It looks like the clock's there though. Where's that clock at? Let's put the clock. It does look like the clock is there. So we're going to go with the clock. And how many layers we got? We got 2 left. So the top one doesn't have an Alice. So this is the next to the last Alice. So it looks like there is a keyhole maybe. So maybe one of the keyholes. First I thought it was on the front, but I don't think it is. I think, or it might be on this layer. Yeah. We're going to put it on that layer. I don't think it's on this layer. So let's not put it there. Just try to see if I can tell anything on this. Not really. So, at our discretion. All right, we're going to go with getting our Alice in the right place first, because that's most important. So she will go here. I'm going to try to get her dress just a little bit and her feet again, so that it gives them something to glue. That looks about right. So just the tip of her dress and her feet should be good. All right. So these will fold flat, obviously. If you want to fold them flat, I'm just going to try it. Now remember, it won't be at the right angle because it's not opened, but we're going to get close. Just trying to get her foot. I'm just going to touch it and then open it up and see where it's hitting. That looks about right. Okay, so I'm going to glue that there. Just got to reach under and make sure I don't have any glue oozing out. That's good. All right. Like it. Okay. And then let's do the clock. Where'd that clock go? Oh, there it is. I think we'll do this over here somewhere. It's kind of behind the rabbit on the next scene, so I think you want it to stick out maybe about there. We'll try that. I like to just kind of keep opening it a little bit to see where things are hitting. I think about there. Okay, and then some flowers. I can't really tell if they're on that layer or not. And one picture, they kind of look like they're on the second and the first layer, but it says they're back further, so I don't know. We're gonna just throw them in here somewhere. We'll just throw a few. We got quite a few flowers anyway. All right, so let's throw some of these flowers. There's really not much at the tops of that level. Yeah, because otherwise you'd cover up the queen too much, I think. So we don't want to cover her. Let's just throw some flowers on here. I'm going to flatten that out again so I can kind of see where I want that to hit, because I don't want it to be on my fold. Maybe I'm going to go this direction, I think. All right, let's try that. A little bit on the tip. Maybe. Let's see. Just trying to glue it to that clock. Here, I'm just gonna try not to stick it to the one underneath in case there's any glue oozing. There. All right, that's good. I don't have any on these little tips, so I probably should put a little bit on there. It might not be a problem, but I'm going to go ahead and stick them anyway. Just a little there. Okay. So one flower. What else did I say? The king is going to be on the next level, I think. The rabbit's on the top level. There's some keys. They look to be near the top. The teacup is on the second. So this is mostly just flowers. I'm just going to stick a few more. My tweezers run off too. We're just going to throw them here and there just to make it pretty. That one there. Do one more small one. No, I won't cover the queen too much. Maybe we'll put it over here. I don't know how much of it that you'll see over there, but we're going to put it there anyway. And think about here. Okay, that's good. Let's go on to our next level. So this one. So again, just to make sure that it lines up. However you need to do that. I'm leaving the tiniest bit of a gap. not much. Mostly because I don't want it to get bigger on that side, so not leaving too much of a gap. I wouldn't even say it's a 16th. All right, that's good. So for this layer, we definitely have the king, and we have the keyhole. So the king, probably some more flowers floating in between the teacups, I think. What time is it? Whew. Like I said, there's no way this is a 30-minute project. The front cover says easy 30. It's like, see? Yeah, right. Maybe for some person who's really got some skills. I don't know. All right, so keyhole. There is not much room to glue on that. I'm tempted to put it back there. It looks like it's on this level. I don't know. We're going to put Alice first, I think. I'm debating on putting the keyhole behind Alice. So I might put that first. Oh, where does this go? Way down here? Does that look about right? Yeah, that looks about right. So she's just at the edge there. And just her feet in her dress, the same as we've been doing. I just gotta decide if I want the keyhole back there. I think I do. So let's try to put this little keyhole first. Gosh, it barely fits. I might actually trim a little of that off so that it'll fit over a little better. It shows it there under the first layer, so I know it goes on this layer, but it doesn't. That is not enough gluing room, so we're going to trim it. I'm just going to trim that little bit off just to bring it over a little bit better. And that's something I even saw the creator do a couple times, is trimming things as needed. So don't freak out about trimming something if you feel like it needs trimmed. Just try to touch that. That feels good. Okay, and then we'll put Alice on top like that. Yeah, that's better. So just her dress right there and tips of her feet. Okay. It's not at a good angle. So I think about there. I'm being careful not to get too close to my edge so I can still get my next piece in there. I do want to get her feet in there. I think my keyhole's okay. I don't think I'm too close. All right. I need to push that better, so I might flatten this out. I'm just gonna making sure it's going where it's supposed to, just so I can give it a little pressure. All right. Good. All right. The king is over here somewhere. So I think about maybe here. I'm just going to try to put on the side of his cape. Just right there. I'm being careful not to get outside of my edge. Again, if you feel like you need to press it, just put something under there. Okay. And then looks like a teacup and a flower. So flower behind and a flower in front. So we'll put this flower first. And then put some teacups on top of that. So and then this teacup or the other teacup? Shows more teacups. Oh, there's a big teacup too. That's going to be on the front. This one's small. So this teacup will be on the front. And the other teacups. Yeah. I like this one. I'm going to put this one. I don't see all of them in there. I mean, I'm sure you don't have to put all of them. And I'm just going to stick it there. Like that. Just so it shows a little bit. And what else? Heart, cards. Do we have more cards? Oh, maybe I'll use this teacup somewhere. There's not really anything on top. But I guess that wouldn't really make sense for everything to be up there, so. I don't know if it needs 2 teacups. I mean, I could just put it there, but you really won't see it. Yeah, we'll just save it. It doesn't need it. Okay, is that all that's on that level? There's no keys on that level that I can tell of. Flowers. That one's on the top. I think that's it. Okay, let's go to the next level. Time is it? Wonderland level. Now, you don't have to attach these sides as you go like I am. You can just leave them separate and just decorate them and then put them in there. But I do think it helps you to line things up better, and because you can kind of see what it's same ability if you're doing it separate. So I do kind of like having it together a little bit. Where's my rag? There it is. Oozy. Just give it a little crease. All of these should lay flat. Next one is, so here we've got keys, we've got the bunny, Mr. Rabbit, and I'm just going to fold these back again so I can kind of see what's going on. Okay, so we got Mr. Rabbit. Where is he floating at? Oh, here he is. He is in front of that pocket watch. Camera. There. He's going to go here somewhere. And a flower and a teacup. Oops. I killed part of my flower. Oh no. Okay. It won't show. And this teacup. Like this. I'm just kind of laying this all out. Something like that. And then the other teacup. These aren't the same teacups, so I don't really care. This one's here maybe. That one seems small. seems too small compared to that. Maybe I'll use this teacup. Size-wise, it seems like it makes more sense. I think so. And then the keys. Does this key have a heart on it? Or is it above it? I think it's above it. Okay. I don't know where that heart goes. I don't see it anywhere in there. But I know the key goes there. Alright, so key is one's here. So we're going to say, and this key. And this one is over on the other side here. Alright, let's just put that key on first. Alright, this key goes right here. So how much is showing? It looks like just the very tip of that is all I'm going to get. And then maybe the base. I can't really tell where it hits, but somewhere around here. Doesn't really matter. Alright, put that one there. This one is next to it. So something like, I'm going to put mine at an angle. There's a straight, but I'm going to put mine at a little bit of an angle. Which side is that? This side. And then the tip gets a little bit there. So we're going to put this one here. There. Try and get that to dry. Okay. So Rabbit looks like he's in the background. Where'd he go? What is he standing on? How high? His ears come over, but that is fine as long as when we're attaching our side, we make sure that this card that we are attaching does not come above that point. Okay? If we make this come above, then it's a problem. But as long as it's level or under, his ears can stick over. Saw wasn't necessary because they're fine to stick over. So we're going to put, I'm trying to see where the glue needs to go. I think pretty much right down the middle. I need to clean the tip of this. It's getting messy. Goopy on me. Give me a wipe. Okay. Let's get Mr. Rabbit on there. Put him right there. Y'all are so quiet. Everybody's intently watching. All right, then we're going to put a flower in front of his feet there so he doesn't look like he's floating in the air. So I'm just gonna, I might put the flower slightly behind his feet. Maybe like that, if I can get it to work. We'll try. Oops. Cleaned it, now it won't come out. You're concentrating. Yeah, me too. We're all concentrating. Yeah. All right, where's my pen? I probably push the glue back in there. Okay. All right, where'd my flower go? I don't know which way I was going now. I think this way. Maybe. All right, let's see if I can do this. I think I want a little bit behind his foot there, so it looks like he's sitting on it or something. There. We're going to do it that way. Just a little. so there's a flower, and then there's teapots or teacups. Which teacup do I want? I want this pretty one. I think most of it should be under. All right, so teacup here. And then another teacup over here. The top of that one might stick out. We'll just put the glue on the bottom. We'll go under that. Glue that leaf down. Okay, that's good. Looking good, guys. All right, what's missing? Anything? I don't think so. Got everything off of that one. I mean, other than some flowers, extra flowers, which we could throw here and there. But I'm pretty happy with it. Here, maybe we'll put one more flower here just for effect. I could possibly stack a teacup. What do you think? Would it work? Let's see. Sure. I'm going to stack this teacup. Oozing. All right, cute. Okay, so got all of our stuff on there. We didn't get a card. I could squeeze this card in somewhere. Might as well. I also have a heart here. Another teacup, and I might leave that something else. Let's see, where's a good spot I could squeeze this? I'm just going to take a peek real quick. I could put a card right there. That might look interesting. Let's do that. I'm just going to stick this card right here. Kind of a plain area. Okay, and what about this heart? Where could I put this heart? Maybe I'll stick it on that level too. That level didn't have a lot of stuff, so we're just going to stick it in there. While you haven't got this side glued, it's a little easier to get your fingers in there to play around with stuff. Okay, so now we basically have to attach this side to our other card, this extra card here. Okay, so you want to know what your measurement is for these pieces. Logically, it should be 4 centimeters, okay, because each one of these is a centimeter. Okay, so assuming you did everything right and you measured correctly, this should equal 4 centimeters. You that this piece has to be 4 centimeters before your score line. Okay, so we're going to go 4 centimeters over, And you can go a little less than 4, then it will definitely sit underneath the rabbit. So we're going to just under 4. And just under 4. I'm going to go a little bit higher because I can't see that. All right, and I'm going to put a score line on there. This part will just trim whatever is hanging over because I'm not going to try to figure out the measurement. It's just easier just to trim it, especially since I changed it a little. Logically, it probably hangs over like an inch or 2 centimeters, whatever I chopped off. I'm trying to get straight. Let me just look at this side real quick. I do want it to be as straight as possible. All right, does that look straight? Yeah, okay. So then we'll fold that. Okay. Give it a fold, ideally both directions because you want it to move freely. Okay. So now, I come over here. This should fit in there like this, just underneath the rabbit. And then this is going to glue to our base. So, I am going to eye it to do this because I don't know what the measurement is. So I'm just going to figure out where these are hitting by looking at the side angle with it straight up and down, okay? That's where it needs to be. So it looks like about there is where I'm going to want to hit. So it should logically be about there on that line, which these don't seem to be hitting on that line. Let me see what they're doing. Let me see if they're hitting on that line. They're close. We're going to try to go a little bit closer to that line. So you see this line where the card is? Okay. This should go about there. I'm going to leave just a fraction to allow for the space that these take up. And I'm going to glue that to that. Okay. So I'm going to glue this base. This I could go ahead and cut off, but I'm going to wait just in case it's a little off. I don't think it is, but just in case. So I'm going to glue what's on the base. It's not the whole card, so I'm going to kind of guess. I think it's about this far over. I know I chopped off some of that, so I'm going to try to glue that down right about we'll say a 1/16 over. Art glitter's not going to give me much time, so I'm trying to line it up. It's already trying to stick on me. Stop trying to stick before I'm ready. Okay, about there. My fingers. Hopefully it is straight. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so you can do that side or that side. They kind of leave that up to you, but I decided I'd do this side because it matches this side, but it could be either side, honestly. And then I'm a tiny fraction off here at the bottom, which oddly enough, I'm perfect on the top, so that must not have been cut exactly even, or I'm not even, one or the other. So now we just have to glue this to this. Okay, we could go ahead and trim this if we want, as long as we are sure. So you can find out where everything's going to hit by laying it flat. So lay all your pieces flat. Trying to lay them flat. And then move them over. Trying to see how far over it's going to stick out. Yeah, because I trimmed it, it's going to stick out a little bit. I'm just going to have to live with that. Or I could add a piece, but it didn't allow me to trim for this particular piece. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I had to do what I had to do to make it fit. So you won't have that issue if it fits in your book. So the easiest way to do this is to lay each one flat. So lay them flat. Like that. And then this is going to go in there. Because that bunny sticks out, it's basically going to go like that. I'm trying to see if I can do it that way. I'm debating. Maybe I should do it this direction. All right, I'm going to try to do it this direction. So we're going to fold and try to get it to attach it. I'm going to attach this first one first. I'm hoping. It's basically going to go. I just think it's easier to lay it flat. We're going to attach that. See if it's looking right. Yeah, I should be able to do that. I'm debating if I can. It has to fold. You want to make sure that everything folds flat. So where everything attaches has to be just right. All right, we're going to fold this under as best we can. Glue. We've got the bottom one on already. It went where it was supposed to. And we're going to do this one next. I'm just laying it up there where it's supposed to go and folding it flat. The art glitter dries pretty fast. Okay, and open it up. Next one, make sure it's folded real nice. It helps if you can get it to do when it's in its moving position, because it just works better. So lay it in its position. I'm kind of seating it into the bottom card, and then I'm pushing it flat. And that makes it glue where it's supposed to go, logically. That's what it's supposed to do. So we'll get this last one. This one's a little trickier because we got our bunny hanging over there, but same kind of thing. I don't think this one comes all the way up to the edge either. I'm a little short. So we're gonna be a little carefuler with this one because it does stick over a little bit. I think I cut my card just a tiny bit too short, but that's okay. So I'm gonna fold it flat. I've got too much glue on there, so I'm trying not to stick it. Get some glue off of there. I got too much on my edge. There. Okay. Now we've got that. So just make sure everything is sealed. When you look at it, it should have even. See, this one's a little off because it's, see how it's warpy? If it was perfect, it would be straight, but it's, you know, it's hard to get it absolutely perfect, but it just means, but it's close enough, it'll still work, okay? And then you can just make sure that your glue is on there. If you need to, you can throw a bone folder in there and kind of just, you know, give it a little bit of help. But this art glitter glue dries pretty quick, so. And then his little ears, when it folds flat, they just go over, okay? So you can see this is a little too long because I had to trim it. And when I trim this back, I'm still gonna have a little bit of a hangover there. Let me see how long that is. I'm just wondering if I have any more room. It's 5, 1/4. I may just add a little bit of this piece or something. It doesn't really matter, but ideally it should cover. But that's how it works. So the mechanism's working well. Oh, we lost her hand. Get your hand back over there. She got bent at some point. Hold on. Let's see if I can fix her. Her little hands didn't lay flat. It got bent. Okay. I might reinforce it. It's a little bit weak. I'm just going to give it a reinforcement real quick. Here, we'll just chop off one of these. It's a very narrow hand, so oops. I can't even hold it to cut it. Okay. I'm just gonna give it the tiniest bit more strength. If I can get it under there. All right, which hand was it? This one. See if I can get my fingers in there. This is fairly thin cardstock, so you got these teeny little pieces sometimes. There, it's a little stronger. I think once it dries, it'll help her little hand not to bend. Okay. All right, let's trim this, and I'm going to decide what I want to do about this rabbit. Sticking out too far. I think, do I have room? Where's my, let me get my journal. I want to see exactly how much room I have. I knew I didn't have a lot of room, but all the pages are pretty much the same. I don't know where I'm going to stick it yet. I'll just pick a page that I can see. So if I put it there, so his ears are just really close. Can I get them and stay in there? They're close. The biggest page would be probably an inside page. So if I put it there, I should have pulled him over just a little bit more. I wasn't real concerned with his ears, but I didn't think about them sticking out in my journal. I don't want to chop his ears off, so. Well, I feasibly could move them, but I'm not going to do that either. I'm debating if I can move them. This art glitter is not real forgiving as far as removing and moving. Let's see if I can. That would be the best thing, is to be able to move them. I don't think I can. It's too difficult. All right, we're just gonna go with it that big and see what happens. So I am not gonna trim. Actually, I better do this with a thing. You get the idea of it. My sizing was a little off. All right, we're gonna try to do this. And then I'm just gonna add, where's that piece we cut off? Pick it up. Oh my goodness. I'm going to glue this because I would rather have it look solid. I think I'm upside down. have it look solid. Maybe I can. I'm gonna glue it right there. I think that'll work. I shouldn't have trimmed quite that much off. That's okay. We learned from our mistakes, right? I'm just going to glue this on here. It won't be ideal, but it'll work. Is that about right? Yeah. I probably could have got away with only chopping off maybe a ½ inch. All right, once that dries, it'll be fine. I think I can get it to fit. If I can't get it to fit there, I could possibly stick it in the back. At least, I don't know, the grommet's probably in the way in the back, honestly. Let's see. It's close. So I think I will put it in one of the middle pages, because they're going to be just slightly bigger. I think. It might stick out, but if we have enough lace and things, I'm hoping that I can camouflage it enough. I'm just seeing if it'll stick out past my ribbon. It does not, so that's good. All right, so I can get it in there. It's tight. I'll have laces on here that'll hide a lot of that, so I'm not worried about sticking out there. I think it'll work. It's a little big for this book. I should have made a bigger journal. And then what will happen is that I'll put something here that says pull or something, or open. I'm not going to glue this side, but I will glue the bottom side to whatever page I stick it on. And that's how it will work. Cute. And I'll put something there. So I'm not sure which page I'm going to put it on. Not 100% sure. I kind of like it on this front page, just because it matches that paper real well. This is that line dot arrow paper. I think it matches that real well. I kind of like it there. I think that's where I'm going to end up putting it. So I'll glue it to the back and then put something on here that says open or something. All right, so that is our project. Took us almost the full 2 hours. It was a big one. And hopefully y'all understand the mechanism now and how it works a little better, in case you've gotten this one or one like it and just had no clue, because it seemed like that's what the case was for a lot of people. But it's a very cute pop-up. It's got great papers, and I've got a bunch of Stamperia papers to go with it, so it'll be cute in this album. I'm gonna have it right here. I think I like it there. It's a great opening to it too, so be able to have that. All right, that is our project for today. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you learned something about pop-ups. You're still a little confused. Girl, if you weren't, I'd be surprised. It's a lot. It is really a lot. I've watched countless videos on pop-ups. I can't even tell you how many. So no, don't feel bad about being confused, because it's a lot. And but I think once you do 1 or 2 and you just play around with the mechanism itself and building little pieces, you kind of get the feel of it more. The part that I have the hardest time with is getting this part the right size. For me, for whatever reason, that seems to be what always kind of messes me up, is getting that the right size. But I've just been like, well, you know, I'll just add an extra piece there if I mess it up. So which is fine. So anyway, all right, guys, that is our live. I will be back on Friday. If I get my coastal set of stencils and transfers, I will work in my ocean one. If not, I will work in this one. So, and I'm just going to go back and forth depending on what I'm doing. And we'll just work on both of them because I've got both of them to do. So that is fine. Thank you, Nancy. I'm glad I explained good. All right, y'all. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will see you guys on Friday. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.